Hi, Michael. It's a great pleasure to have this expert to expert conversation with you today.
Yeah, thank you for welcoming. I'm really looking forward to have the conversation about the esports, about like building products related to the esport and how it's actually that pretty tightly connected with building like kick-ass, really great product and from software perspective as well, not just like how to produce the things.
Amazing. So, esports goes global. That was the headline of our first expert to expert episode, where Marek and I discussed the massive growth of esports and why it is so important for operators to have esports on their strategic agenda. Today, it's all about building it right and focusing on how Odin builds products that really matters. And I think we definitely agree esports growth is undeniable, right? But there is a huge difference. Building a product that actually performs at scale is something very few have pulled off. So today we are unpacking how Odin built that solution intentionally from the ground up.
Yeah, you're absolutely correct. Like, if you look where and historically, this is not just something that is something like matters of last couple of years, but historically, where the most, let's say, advanced technologies and where the most implementations of artificial intelligence happen is it was always connected to e-gaming. And with that being said, meaning e-gaming is really growing fast and really enjoying all the technology advantages. And from that perspective, you need to bear in mind that also when you want to build products that based on the technology side that are really aiming on the most advanced products out there, uh, it's not about rebuild something. It's about really go from the very beginning and really it's about to aim on the right, let's say, frameworks, on the right infrastructure, building your own infrastructure, end-to-end solution to be really able to complete not just the experience, but have in your data ready, have your tooling ready, have your logic ready, be able to scale at unlimited scale actually. And all that needs are actually challenging. And that's what is really nice on like doing products for the esports betting. And not just esports betting, but in global working with the esports.
Michael, you mentioned infrastructure, right? And having a dedicated infrastructure. And, I remember that this is an important topic for you. So you always have it on your agenda. Why?
It's about provisioning and it's about being able to serve the content almost like 24/7, 365 days a year. So all the time, everything can be ready, especially with the esports, when you have like, okay, you can have your own content, but also like there's a lot of studies happening on based on the video and other stuff. And you need to bear in mind that this is like we operate globally. So always there's somebody on the world who is looking on that, who is rewatching your streams, and a good spoiler could be like if you look how much actual intention and how much people and watchers are getting the tournaments on tools like Twitch and others. Not talking about hundreds, we're talking about almost like millions of watchers. All this it's actually happening in real time.
Yeah, that makes total sense. Odin is also always focusing on providing an end to end solution. But now, before I share what customer value the most, I would love to dig into what end to end really means from your point of view.
End to end means how I described it in the beginning. It's really making sure that you not only collect the data, but you integrate with almost every possible resource you can have. It's about being able to, from that collected and acquired data, produce models, meaning like you need to be ready to produce those huge amount of data in microseconds to get them ready to be computed on the fly as they go in the real time. This actually goes straight to the trading tools where the risk management is applied later on as well. And all this, it's like a package that goes out to the streaming service to the front-end presentation. So this is like if you user or if you the one who is watching the stream, there's a bunch of stuff that's happening before you get your experience. And with that being said, I mean, it's like, yes, we can enhance more data, we can add more statistics and all that stuff related to like to have like really the superb and proper and unique experience for the end users. But that means you need to do it on the live stream. So you need to enhance all on the fly, all real time, and be able to process it. That would requires like dedicated tooling. That would requires dedicated development and super technology advanced solutions.
Yeah, absolutely. And also adding to this is what the customers really feel, that this is an end-to-end solution. Because from my perspective, when I talk to customers specifically from Latin America, this is what they value a lot, that what we provide is kind of an all-inclusive solution. And they say, hey, I know you take care of everything. I know you provide the best product, so I can dedicate my time to things that kind of, need more attention because I know that everything is working fine. So now when we take a deeper look inside the product, right? Because there are so many great products that we deliver, but let's take the BetBuilder, for example, right? So first, this is the first industry's bet builder that supports esports and also eSimulators for pre-match and live. And it's tailored specifically for titles like CS2, like football, and the feedback from customers is very, very positive. And they also share that with the bet builder, they see a double-digit margin. That's also that's insane. So it's typically designed for fast, intuitive combos. And of course, this is something that keeps the bettors engaged. Now, when we look at the eSimulators, right? How do you see the eSimulators?
Well, that's all about the 24/7 content. Essentially, like if you look from that perspective, it's about and also connected to 24/7 content, which is actually accessible and easy to be accessed. And you let me point out one of the things that you mentioned, and this is like user engagement. This is still like creme de la creme metric that I always watch and always carefully measure in the product management, because whatever you do as a product manager, the main thing what you care about is actually who is using my products, who is like benefiting, and who is like getting the, in our case, entertainment from the ideas we have. And this is like, there's no like silver bullet solution. There's not something you will just pull out on the market and everybody will adopt. It's about it's about gradual progress. It's about like watch carefully what really people likes. And when we talk about people and about users, there's no single user you can address. You always need to think across multiple users, across differences, across habits. There are different habits in Latin America in general and as a market, as a user, because they have different, things they cheer up for example, than for example in Europe. Also, Asia is looking for something like very, very much condensed information, and they are really have statistically, patient about stuff. So all these things together, and if I pull back to the eSimulators, this is where you can really bring, let's say, experience not only for the esports fans, but also typically you build for traditional sports bettors. So extending the community, you're bringing more experience to broader audience that could have like fun and feel engaged with what they will see. It's also about supporting live betting. So not any RNG determined outcomes or anything else like commonly in virtual sport. But there's also one really important thing, and you mentioned it as well. This is the consistency. There's consistent uptime. This is the high margin efficiency. And operators really can schedule the gaps around real world outcomes. So sometimes there's a pause in the stream, but that's actually space where you can engage with the end users. So you can provide more content that is a bit different. So there's a lot of opportunities, even speaking from that perspective, that I can improve. Of course, it is important, and it's like let's say demanding on the provider side as well. Because you typically, if you really want to be good in the content of simulators, you need to cooperate closely with studios. You need the teams. You need your own caps. As we do, we have Valkyrie cap, for example, but then more caps we support. So it's good to be aware that it's beyond the product, because when we talk about end-to-end, when we speak about eSimulators, it means connections between the studio content where the players are playing and people watching them. But then you need to take the stream, go through all the infrastructure, build the experience from the very welcome to the top, and then collect and see what is the bettor's, say, engagement, what they like, what they having troubles, what are challenging stuff for them, and try to solve it. And this is like ongoing circle, ongoing, work that it's can be really produced and improved. And that's why also like the customer feedback from that perspective, and not just customer, but like the players, the traders, the studios, everywhere. Like the feedback for that's everywhere, but you have the whole cycle, and that's really important. Like, and I believe our also like advantage from that perspective, that we can see that and we can work with that and improve for our end users and the customers.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, talking about the customers and then also specifically the bettor, our eSIMs content that we are providing, it's an additional content. And, traditional sports bettors can be converted easily into eSIMs bettors because they know the game, they know the rules. So this is definitely amazing. And you also mentioned our Valkyria Cup. So, that always has a special place in my heart because this is our female league. And as women's sports is also rising, we also see great traction. And this is also the feedback that we get from our customers. Sometimes you would think, female content, it doesn't get that much traction, but that's not right. It gets the same traction as our male league, for example. So this is why many customers, they specifically ask me, oh, wow, I didn't know that you have a female league. That's amazing. And I will actively push because we see that there is active demand. So now when we look at SBC Lisbon, because that was a very special show for us, and at SBC Lisbon, we launched one of our brand new products, right? That's BetPeek. And also the feedback that we received there was really amazing. So everybody was like, oh, wow, that's a great product. We love it. So Michael, from your point of view, what makes BetPeek so unique?
Simply innovation. That if you can really look for the definition of the word innovation, that's what BetPeek represents. It started with like technological prototype. It was like, let's see what we can get there, because we often heard from the feedback that and that's absolutely ultimate experience even for me. If you're looking on the tournaments, if you're looking on whatever's happening in esport, you want to watch it through the eyes of the players. You want to get the ultimate experience, and not just in the esport world, like everywhere in the sports. Normally, this is what happens. Like if you look now, NHL players, they do have they small cameras in the helmets. The same applies with Formula One, for example, and the same applies with the esports as well, bringing the same experience for the watchers and for those who are enjoying that content in the way to see really how the players and the heroes are reacting, what they are doing, what they are thinking, where they are looking at every moment they can. And this is what BetPeek actually brings, that unique experience. Normally, you will see the map, you will see what is happening, you will see some streamlines, but with BetPeek, you are allowed to become the player, to be in the game, truly connected with the action. You don't need to bring any additional layer of engagement. This is like, being a watcher that is directly in the game. That engagement level is absolutely enormous. And it's clear for bettors as well, because they see what's actually happening. All that in one stream, in one package. So for me, I would probably extend my my statement from the beginning. Innovation and engagement. That for me is BetPeek.
Yeah, absolutely. And innovation and engagement, I think this is always crucial and super important when it comes to how we innovate, how we build products. because I think what customers also value the most is the innovation that we provide. We come up with new ideas, but at the same time, we always take the customer feedback into consideration. And this is also crucial for success, because at the end of the day, if you build something and nobody is interested in that, all right, nobody wins, right? But we are always listening. We are taking the customer's feedback into consideration. We put that into our products, and then we make kind of, our clients happy, and they make their customers happy. And also, one good example is for our eSimulators, since we are also targeting the Latin American market. We have the Copa Libertadores, and this is specifically for the audience in Latin America. So that also shows we definitely listen to our customers because we want that they are successful. So, Mickey, we're always innovating, right? And there are so many things on our roadmap. But do you want to give kind of a sneak preview about what comes next?
And I would say probably, and the best sneak peek would be what you mentioned. We actually, what is the level of innovation we're bringing in? It's not just about, let's say, the products and stuff like that, but it's about the experience. And if I could, I would probably mention two things. One thing is, like, typically you say, the customer feedback is something that brings you in. It's kind of fuel you can put in your car, and it makes the car actually moving. With the customer feedback and how we work, and for us, like, customers almost like obsession in the most positive way as possible. This is actually, it's more like high octane fuel, or even like flying gasoline putting into the car to make it really not just go on the street but really fly away. And exactly when we're talking about like what to bring next, we always want to value and evaluate that with our users and with our customer feedback. It's like, yes, we can have a lot of information. We can think about, let's say, deeper personalization, about sharper automation, about investing and continuously investing into the infrastructure to make like our services really consistent and really super stable. Nothing like it's going to happen. But at the moment, where we're mostly looking at is definitely the content, the markets, and we heavily also exploring. And we did it actually from the very beginning. So it's in our DNA. We are heavily motivated about using AI and working actively with AI. So artificial intelligence and the evolution there in that space, when we speak about large language models, when we speak about agents and stuff like that, this is definitely something we are preparing for as well, or not just preparing, we're actively working with. So definitely deeper personalization, sharper automation, adjusting between the content and the markets, and carefully listen to our users and their users, because we're moving into B2B2C space.
Yeah, absolutely, 100%. And we are also 100% aligned, and we agree that building it right is an essential part of our DNA. And so also in the next episode, we'll explore how that kind of product strategy connects with real operator priorities in key growth markets, specifically Latin America and Brazil. And because building it right is only one step, right? But getting it to the right audience is next. Thank you for this lovely conversation.
Likewise, thank you so much, Juana. It was a pleasure.